because the people who followed Misery Loves Company loved the anger, the realness that Kevin brought when he had that first appearance on Opie and Jim. And people are like, finally, because Norton, and I as much as I like Norton, he obviously went soft over the years. But people loved Norton because he would talk about getting pissed on by hookers, and he would argue with callers and everything. That's what people really liked. And that's where when you went on there, everyone's like, finally, there's a comic who's shitting on his mother and his own brother and, calling out everybody in the business. And I think
I was a breath of fresh air.
You sure were.
Shitting on my own brother. I know everybody always says that. Everyone's like, everyone's always like suspicious of me because they're like, he shits on his own brother. Even Joe List said that a bit to Bobby Kelly one time. He's like, when I first was like making a name for myself by like being a douche. Joe List was suspicious because he's like, he shits on his own brother. And to be fair, it's a decent point because, I mean, if I'm going to shit on my own family, I don't care. What would I care about Jim Norton? Why would I, right? Or fucking E-Rock or fucking even Anthony Cumier, especially Keith the Cop. I mean, if I'm going to shit on Neil, I'll probably and my own mother, I'll probably shit on anybody.
Hey, I reached out to Kevin, and he never responded.
Yeah, but Kevin thinks of things. Kevin looks at
you reached out at like 9 o'clock that fucking day, and I have kids, motherfucker.
That's right. It's a Zoom call.
He's right, Travis.
Drop everything and go, they're begging me. Because I made a stink there. Yeah. Who else has to make a stink to get on the fucking show? Nobody.
He's right,
So I make a stink. Then I get on? Fuck that.
That is true.
He's right, Travis.
But however, they don't make a stink, but sometimes they just say, hey, I want to come on, and we go, okay.
Yeah, like they'll go, hey, I got a project.
It looks pathetic if I make a stink. You guys call me and I go, now you'll have me on. It looks worse for me.
No, but you could have come on. We thought you were just going to come on and we would argue about it or talk about it. We didn't think you were begging to come on. We were actually asking you to come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, only because I made a stink. I wasn't even on the fucking radar. So I was listen, man, you got your show. You're doing great. I'm doing terrible. So let's
September 30th, Kevin Brennan calls into Jim and Sam.
We have a celebrity guest.
Yes, we have
calling in.
The hotline is lit. Kevin Brennan.
St. Patrick's Day?
It must be St. Patrick's Day because Kevin Brennan is on the phone.
Kevin, are you there?
Yeah, first time, long time.
Welcome.
Jim, Florentine, can you get your picks in on time this week?
That's what you're calling in for?
And you discuss you're not banned from the show. They want you to come on.
It's funny. You can be banned and not be banned. Like if a girl's like, I don't have a problem with you, but she's not fucking you. Maybe she has a problem with you.
I just want to call in. I know I'm not a regular on the show, but I figured I'd call in and have my voice heard. Let you guys know I miss you.
Well, we miss you too. You're welcome to come in whenever you like.
So he's not banned from the show?
No.
No, we told him he wasn't banned.
We told him he's not banned. Whenever you want to come in, just tell me.
No, well, I'm not. I don't think I'm still haven't been in even since I made a fucking brouhaha. I still haven't been invited in. So
we invited you. No, because you made a brouhaha about St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, why would you reuse that expression? That just expression stinks.
You got mad because we had Sam Morril on St. Patrick's Day, and you thought it was lazy booking because we should have done a St. Patrick's Day spectacular, and obviously you're the guy for that. And then we played the audio. And we were like, we laughed about it. We were like, I don't know that he's right, but we should make it clear.
Sure.
Travis DM'd you and Jim Norton texted you and said you can come in whenever, and you didn't respond to anybody.
So you're thinking it's all a decoy?
I'm thinking I still haven't been on. So they say I'm not banned, but I'm not welcome.
But they also said Sam Morril actually reached out to promote.
Okay, that's a lie. That's a fucking lie.
Yeah, but my point was, did you said I have to ask to come in? Did Sam Morril ask to come in that day?
Probably, I didn't say you had to ask to come. It was never like you have to come hat in hand. It was that's how I like. If somebody wants to come in, they're like, hey man, I want to come in. I don't think to reach out to people. Like I never think, hey, like I just hear someone's coming in. Yeah, but if somebody wants to come in, just text me. Hey, I need to plug something and come in.
Travis is the one to talk to because Travis just tells us who's coming in. He'll float names by us, and they're all yes. He knows who the regulars are. And
Sam asked to come in to book his or to promote whatever he's promoting that day.
So Sam Morril did ask to come in.
Yeah, it's common. So if someone's not coming in, I just assume they have nothing to plug, or they just haven't, for whatever reason, asked to come in.
Or they don't want to come in. We don't have high self-esteem.
You think Sam Morril? He wasn't plugging anything. He was just on. They have their roster of people. It's the same people everyone uses: Sam Morril, Mark Norman, Mateo Lane, Karen Fee, and all these people with OnlyFans. So they get these stable of people, young people, because they always want to go young. So they get these young comics, and they don't. They don't ask to be on. They ask them. They go, Sam, can you come on this week? And he's like, yeah, Wednesday. Or Mark Norman, can you come on this week or next week? Yeah, Tuesday. Okay, Tuesday it is.
Yeah.
All right, well, let me just save the trouble. Just watch my fucking documentary that Porcelain made. Even Jim Florentine liked it. So I'll do my plugs this way. I'll call in when Jim Florentine's in. We'll talk football.
Okay.
Jim Florentine saw my documentary Porcelain made. He said it was so good my wife should eat my ass that weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we didn't think that, when Porcelain, made a documentary about you, I don't think that we were like, oh, Kevin is probably going to come in to promote that because, maybe Porcelain would come in to promote it, but it's not like it's a Kevin Brennan project. It's just a thing that happened to you.
I don't think he considers himself welcome since he made 2 documentaries about you guys, and
they weren't the most flattering thing.
It is believed Sam is just 35 years old, although this repugnant creature's abnormal form renders the consequences of aging somewhat moot. With an enlarged skull, furrowed brow and pronounced forehead, Sam clearly shares physical traits more commonly attributed to humanity's simian ancestors. The striking width of Sam's dry, narrow lips and the elongation of his Neanderthalic philtrum only further underline this separation. Bizarrely, Sam's dental anatomy fits in neither ancestry class, with a maxillary diastema more closely reflective of the rodentia order of mammals such as rats, voles, and squirrels, especially when looking to Sam's eroded incisors.
I would say they weren't as flattering as I would have hoped.
Yeah.
What happened to Jim Norton? How did a comedic star once so bright fade to such a pitiable glow?
Yeah, Kevin's actually was positive, like his documentary on Kevin.
Well, it was like if Kevin embraces the sort of rageful side of him, yeah.
No, he didn't really he didn't go after Kevin
he didn't go after Kevin.
Yeah, which I thought he usually does.
To some, the epitome of showbiz bitterness. A now elderly man who, having witnessed his own brother reach the apex of wealth and recognition, has channeled decades of churlish acrimony towards monetizing a 6-year hissy fit. Persevering in an industry he spent his entire working life alienating himself from, his career could be surmised by the image of a demented vagrant pissing in the wind.
But so I liked it. Obviously I watched it. It was great. But I didn't think to myself, oh, Kevin's got to come in and promote this thing because it's just a thing that somebody did about you.
Yeah, and if you want to promote it, just tell us you want to come in and promote it.
I didn't think you had any financial ties to it.
I just promoted it.
Yesterday they had Jim and what's his face?
Mike Boschetti.
So is that a master booking or is that just okay? Jim wanted to come in and Mike Boschetti asked to be on. So it's like some people ask to be on and some people they ask, or maybe they ask Mike Boschetti to be on, but no one cares about who's being booked or anymore. It's called mailing it in. But I'm officially on the don't ask list. Like they don't ask me.
So Columbus Day is on Monday if you want to come in and celebrate.
I mean, seriously, you guys, fucking St. Patrick's Day, Sam Morril. Come on, man.
Well, we don't really celebrate St. Patrick's Day. In hindsight,
come on. Sam's a well-known Jew, and come on. You can't defend that. You can't defend it. Have Mateo Lane on, who's probably fucked a leprechaun. Just give an effort.
So Kevin, Tony's a big O&A guy. Like he was an old school O&A guy. Do you think Jim and Sam
Can you get me the autograph picture from E-Rock?
Of E-Rock?
Yep.
Or
from E-Rock.
So Tony, what's your theory on Kevin? Like he missed the whole O&A experience, but he got popular with Opie and Jim. Where do you think Kevin would be if he was on O&A back in the day?
Like as far career-wise or?
Career-wise.
Probably above Bobby Kelly.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing. I disagree. I think I would have got on once. Listen, back in the day when O&A was going good, they didn't need anybody. So they didn't need anybody to like whatever. And then if you weren't famous or friends with Norton, it was not an easy. And plus back then I was a bit of a cuck. I was a bit of a Lenny. So so now I'm much different because now I about 92% really genuinely don't give a fuck. I'm not acting. So if Jim and Sam don't have me on anymore, first of all, I doubt I'll ever be on. I got my plugs in. I did my roast plug. I did my YouTube plug.
Porcelain.
Am I gonna wake up early to go in and fucking eat muffins with them and do the same plugs? They don't help you sell tickets. I mean, they might help me like YouTube because there's, I don't know how many people listen, but there's not enough people that listen that if you go, I'm going to be in St. Louis this week, you're going to get a turnout like in the old O&A days. Back then, they would help you. They don't help you now at all. Ask Florentine what kind of a kick he got yesterday.
Kevin's deal is he thinks Roland should call him to come in instead of him calling.
But Roland doesn't call anybody.
He doesn't. I called Roland. I said, "Hey, Roland, can I come in next Thursday?" He's like, "Yeah, okay, we got it." So he doesn't contact me, Roland, either, and go, "Hey, we want you in."
But right.
So Kevin should contact Roland and goes, "Hey, Roland, I got a gig next weekend. Can I come in?"
Or me. Like I know you well enough. You can just text me and go, "Hey, man, do you guys got anyone next week?" And I go, "All right, which day do you want?"
The show.
Yeah, it's very easy.
Yeah.
Hey, Tony, as a Compound Media subscriber, do you think Kevin made a bad mistake leaving Burning Bridges?
Burning Bridges was like an offshoot. It was like the visual offshoot of MLC. So, it was. I liked it because it was extra MLC. Is what I was getting. I liked it because
it was for the rich people. It was for people that had $9. It was for the
elite.
It's like now they have Disney Plus and ESPN Plus. This was MLC Plus. These are people who are high rollers. These are people who had money to burn. They're like, I have $9. The thing I do regret is and we didn't do much of it because I would have liked to do it, is done shows with Cumia, like live stand-up, which you're doing more of. I don't know how much money they make, but it's still, Cumia is fun to hang around with, even though you're going to get COVID if you do. But I'm just saying, like going to certain cities and doing shows. We never did that. I think part of the problem was, there was too many people involved. Like Keith always wanted to be like, we're going to, when Artie got hired there, he's like, we're going to do dates, and Artie wants to do dates with all you guys. We're going to go to the casinos and the local casinos. It never happened. And, I think Berg's doing it now, which is good. I don't know if they're making enough money, but it would still be fun.
We figured that since you have a podcast that's like ongoing and you could promote it any time, like Florentine always has gigs, always has his podcast. So it's like Florentine's like, oh, I got this gig I want to promote, or I got this episode of the podcast I'd really like to get some extra ears on. Let me hit the guys up and I'll come in. And it's always a yes. It's just a matter of
It's never.
He hung up.
Oh, he hung up.
Like a minute ago.
I always like when I'm making a point, a fucking cat walks into the show. That's the way fucking Steven Spielberg does it. Yeah, when a guy's making a dramatic point, a cat walks in the fucking break the ice.